Welcome. Next stop, the Fashion Bunker. Please sit back, relax and enjoy your journey.
Hello? Hello, everybody. Peace, 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 peace. Welcome to the Fashion Bunker live stream on a Saturday. Thank you, Bubbles. It's like pulling teeth to get a little pow, 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 pow from Bubbles from time to time. I don't know. She's, listen, let me tell you, always rebellious, always in a teenage phase. Welcome, everybody. Hi, T-Pal. Hi, Boop Boop. Hi, Credit Uzagi. Hi, James Tansfield, Melissa, Angie Massimore, Lux with Brit, Zane, Ice Storm, Frozen Luxury, Cora K, Ampersand. I saw Debbie before, Alexandria, Trina. Howdy. Hey, Bunker family. Hope everyone is doing well. Just got in from walking the puppy. Hope I did not miss anything. No, we just begath. Apple Blonde. Please send fruit gummy. Ah, there she is, Debs. Elliot's Luxury. Lisa Crowder 6. Oh, Renee. Chris Dew. Sherry Forney. Cravy. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We'll go. You know, sometimes they say the gentlemen, they put a little flower or a little napkin or a little tissue, a little silk tissue in their lapel. Well, not lapel, pockets. Well, honey, we do it differently. I know. We put a little munchkin speedy in our pockets. Elliot's Luxury, thanks so much for becoming a tier 2 member. Thank you, sweetie. I think now we need 19 more until we can unlock the next emoji. Thumb up the live stream, y'all, because, you know, we'll go. I mean, we'll go. We need to thumb up the live stream. I know I repeat myself, but for what the algorithm is, we need to do it. Zoom, because that's the only thing we have on our side to help us combat the suffocation of the channel underneath a lot of other videos and live streams elsewhere in the world. It's kind of like gasping for air, darling. All the likes are kind of little bubbles of air, like in a Super Mario game. When you're like swimming through the ocean, you gotta collect the bubbles of air to keep yourself going. Those are the likes. So you like the live stream and we get a bubble of air. We go. Anyway, so listen. Listen. Oh, I just cracked my shoulder. Oh my God, this is like, whatever. You know what I mean? At a certain point, it's over. It's done. So, several things. First of all, before anybody starts talking about And Just Like That season 2, you don't talk about it. Why? Well, we'll go. Because, see this? Totally Jacob. That's my pop culture YouTube channel. We are going to live stream on Totally Jacob tomorrow. We're going to live stream the review of season 2, episode 1 and episode 2 of And Just Like That. Yeah, we'll go. So I'm telling you, this is, it's going to be a Sunday. So we're going to live stream on Sunday. Just, we're just going to be talking Sex and the City and Just Like That. Yeah, Samantha, Carrie, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so it's going to be a fun little moment for us to bond, a little bonding moment for as long as And Just Like That runs. So we're going to have this extra little special feature. I don't know if it's always going to be a live stream on a Sunday to review the show. Maybe we switch it around. Maybe we do it a little bit sooner because as far as I understood, the show airs Thursdays or Wednesdays. I think Thursdays. So I don't know if we do like a live stream on a Thursday or on a Friday, maybe on a Friday next week. We'll see. But anyway, it is the way it is this week. So we will be live streaming tomorrow on Totally Jacob. And just like that, season 2, episode 1 and 2 review, including spoilers. Oh, it streams. Yes. Oh, Renee, is Samantha back yet? No, not yet.
Yes.
Okay, she's back. All right, Bubbles, she's back. Thursday. So, yes. Okay, well, there's that. Then, on another note, I also want to say we won a case on YouTube. So this is something I didn't mention in the last live stream because I didn't want to jinx anything. But somebody, and I have a sneaky suspicion I know who it was. Somebody flagged my live stream. And so YouTube said, this live stream is not monetizer friendly because it has content that is not advertiser friendly. I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? So went through the whole thing again, the video. I appealed. You can appeal to YouTube. And YouTube gets back to you within a week. It took them 2 days, honey. And they got back to me saying, oopsie, sorry. No. In fact, your live stream is advertiser friendly. So the monetization is back again. Yeah. But somebody tried it. Somebody tried it. Hey, Dario Domenico Martino. Dario is like, we'll go. But that's okay. That's okay because we have the righteousness on our side. So I was like, oh, no. I'm not going to work extra hard to get everything done correctly. You know, being careful what you say, how you say it, how you phrase things. Like I'm working extra with my brain to make everything fit within the guidelines to then just end up having some rando flag your video and then it's like demonetized. No. We won't bone yesterday. So the appeal went through. YouTube said, apologies. You are right. The video is advertiser friendly. Yay, we won. So that's that. Oh, hey, Jesus. Hey, Cosmic Acid Trip. Yeah, we'll go, right? Glad it worked out for you. Thank you, Trina. Dario says, so it's either her or Bernard Arnault. No, that's not the live stream. It was the one before that, Dario. The live stream before the Louis live stream was the one that got demonetized. But it's not all good. It's all good. All good. Positivity, love, peace, and flowers. But I see ya. So, there you go. Thank you, Ice Storm. My allegedly game is on point, right? Hey, DD Bean. How's it going, DD Bean? Good for you, right? Thanks. So, Trina sending flowers. Yes, peace, love, and flowers. Now, I wanted to talk, okay, first of all, so we're going to have, oh my gosh, okay, the vintage bag of the day is going to be amazing. That we're going to have a reveal today because the bag actually just arrived yesterday. So it's brand new for me, even though it's vintage, but I'm like super excited to share the visuals of this bag with you. It's insane. And then I also, we're going to touch base on luxury bags being assets. You know how people say, oh, investment. There's a really interesting article we're going to touch base on to try to figure out a little bit more. We keep saying, no, they're not investments. Are they? Oh, we're going to get to it. Then there's more topics that we're going to cover, of course, as we always do. Interesting, just as a side note. Oh my God, so itchy. Interesting as a side note that somebody said, there's an article somewhere in China about the Pharrell Williams for Louis Vuitton collection. Now, mind you, okay, in that article, somebody says how amateur his collection is. But I found that very fascinating that articles in fashion magazines are reporting about this, and quite a few people are actually seeing it for what it is. But I'm also very surprised that quite a few people commented underneath my live stream, you know, calling me out for being bitter because I dare have, yes, I know, because I dare have critical thinking. So I'm like, you're confusing critical thinking with being bitter. You know, it's like we're so used to seeing videos on YouTube reviewing a bag or reviewing something, and they're all like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so gorgeous. This is so beautiful. I'm loving it. This is amazing. This is glamorous. This is glorious. You know, those YouTubers that use that adjective all the time. I'm just like, you know what? We've been on YouTube for a minute. You know what I mean? It's like the enthusiasm, keep it on the low. Why? Well, because, I mean, if you're going to say everything's glorious, everything you look at, well, then nothing is. If everything is, then nothing is. And then we get to a point where it kind of gets dull, doesn't it? Bleached out, washed out. It's like, you know, if everything is great and fantastic, then of course critical thinking is being neglected. And with critical thinking, I don't mean you have to necessarily say, just for the sake of saying it, oh, some things are ugly and some things are beautiful. No, with critical thinking, I mean, go deeper. Yes, a collection can be really cool. We can like how it looks like on the surface, but we can still have critical thinking and be capable of analyzing, well, where does the collection come from? Who's the owner of the brand? How are they subsidizing themselves? What does the brand stand for? Who are they hiring? Why? Where's the manufacturing? You know what I mean? We can talk about these things. It's okay to talk about these things. And it doesn't mean you're bitter if you find out that something just doesn't fit right with how the brand is presenting itself. It's okay to talk about it. And I don't think that it's fair for anybody who dares have critical thinking to immediately be attacked and labeled as bitter. Like, those are two different things. And just because you lost your capability to think and analyze critically doesn't mean that other people have. So I answered to this one person. I said, listen, if you don't understand my content, you don't have to watch it. You know, just go watch the other YouTubers who use the glorious adjectives all the time and be happy. You know, just be happy with it. That's okay too. But here you know, in the Fashion Bunker, we're going to say it. We're going to keep it real. If something is shady, we're going to say, hey, this feels a little bit shady. If something feels awesome, we're going to say, this looks awesome, feels awesome. I mean, also, sometimes something feels awesome, but then like when you kind of learn more about it, you're like, oh, okay, I thought it was awesome, but vice versa. Sometimes you think something isn't really quite there yet, but then you look into it more and then you realize, oh, no, actually, you know, they're really there. My apologies, you know, so there's always kind of these things can happen. So there's that. Anyway, I want to say thank you to my Tier 2 members and patrons. We are just out of a exclusive 2-hour pre-show that we filmed right before the main show. So for those of you who don't know, if you become a member, a Tier 2 member or a Tier 2 patron, Super Dakeable spelled together in Patreon, you get access every Saturday to an exclusive live stream pre-show in the green room where we do the makeup tutorial. Lately, we've been doing a lot of that. We also talk about a lot of special things that we cannot talk about on the main channel. So you get a lot of extra access and you spend more time with me. So, plus you get all the emojis and all the stuff if you become a member, which is super cute. Little bottle emoji, a little bottle badge of honor, and all sorts of emojis. The newly released will go emoji, which particularly fond of that one. The pink really hits the right spot. Mercy says, been great watching live, but stuff to do. See you on the Memorex. What's the Memorex? All right, Mercy, have a great day. Tipa says, as you say all this, I am getting attacked right now on YouTube for speaking my truth. Ah, Tipa, what happened to you? What will go? What did they do? What did I miss, y'all? I would not watch you if you did not have an opinion, a critique with backup and background. Thank you, Trina. And, we don't say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff. Like, we want to understand things. We're also here together to learn from each other. It's always really a cool thing to have an exchange of ideas and have an exchange of opinions, because how else are you going to grow? You can't just fossilize yourself in your own stance and position and think, well, we ain't going to move from here. That's not cool. Hey, Jane, how's it going? Love the tier tree talking of Sekhmet. Yeah, Sekhmet was amazing, wasn't she? The Karnak. We went all the way to Karnak. Well, in spirit. We went to the sanctuary of Karnak in Egypt. It was a special episode. I watched the Louis Vuitton show in full after your live. I loved it. The music and the diversity was great. In my opinion, you have a right to your opinion of it, though. Thank you, Pau. Ice Storm says, fashion is about having opinions. Otherwise, everyone would look the same. Yes to that, for sure. There are opinions, but then there's also something that goes beyond just opinions. What we did when we were reviewing the Louis Vuitton show, there was a level of opinions being exchanged, but then there was also a level of a socio-political analysis being exchanged, which is not just opinion.
Amperzan donated $5. I have been watching Mama's Family all weekend in one episode. Thelma Harper, Mama, said to give Sweet Jacob $5. PS Betty White and Rue McClanahan were in the first 2 seasons. PPS, the...
Okay, let me read it. I have been watching Mama's Family all week, and in one episode, Thelma Harper, Mama, said to give Sweet Jacob $5? Question mark. P.S. Betty White and Rue McClanahan were in the first 2 seasons. P.P.S. The cast wore costume designs from Bob Mackie. Thank you so much, Papa Cherry Bubbles. There you go. Thank you, sweetie. Boy, listen. I would love to have a Bob Mackie. I mean, not a dress, but for me, like something, I don't know, unisex for me from Bob Mackie with a lot of feathers. Just saying, would love that one day. Hey, Holly Grace, how's it going? Mother is mothering, says Please and Forgive Me, says, wish I could have tuned in for the pre-show, but shopping for clothes ain't gonna do itself. Had coffee and my bestie with me, so it was a great afternoon. Oh, that sounds fabulous. Hey, Barbara Shioka. Yeah, we had a fun little pre-show for sure. What did I want to say? Forgot. Something about... Oh, well. Hey, my life, my journey. How's it going, sweetie? Yeah, we did a deep dive. The facts are not always on the surfaces, D. Yeah, I'm telling you. Most of the time they're not, especially when it comes to corporate consumerism. T-Boss says, I get angry people commenting because of my channel content. It's like you can't do anything right, you know? Like you say one thing, you're going to have people coming for you. You say the opposite of the same thing, you're going to have other people coming for you. And there's no middle ground. It seems like we're going through this time right now where there is no middle ground. It's like everything is red or blue. And you know what I mean. And they're both kind of gray to me. But hey, Johnny, how's it going? Bonsoir, les amis. Lux with Brit. Did you see the news on the submarine? Yes, I spoke about that in the pre-show, actually. I told you in the last live stream. They don't need to tell us on the news that they're going to perimeter research a perimeter the size of Connecticut. I'm like, you don't need to do that. If you want to find them, they're right there at the Titanic at the bottom. And where did they find parts of the submarine? Right at the Titanic. I mean, we'll go. I wanted to, and this is very interesting. Because I found very fascinating, you guys, your comments underneath the video, like what was normal yesterday is considered luxury today. It was an article that we were analyzing a couple of weeks ago on my channel in the live stream. And then I posted that like a day ago as a separate standalone video. And the video is doing relatively good. The comments are amazing. And so it's basically a list of all sorts of products or services or things that once were like considered normal, like going to a concert in the 80s and in the 90s was, you could afford it, be front row for $50. Now it's a $2,000 affair if you want to be front row. Flying, now, Ryanair is now kind of talking about introducing standing flights. Yeah, you would be standing while flying. And the guy who owns Ryanair is saying like, oh, it's actually more. Thank you, Tracy.
Tracy donated $10. Eddie, sweetie, what are you drinking? Patsy, Ozis, Chanel numéro 5.
Oh, Tracy, Papa Cherry. Thank you so much, sweetie. I am drinking, not sponsored, by the way, but I'm drinking a maracuya. What is this, maracuya? I'm drinking a sugar-free maracuya Fanta. Fanta with a maracuya flavor. Very tropical. I'm living my tropical dream. Also because, it's so hot right now. I am sweating. So I washed my hair before the pre-show. So the hair was wet. Now it's kind of dried up because it's so hot. But I loved having the bun with wet hair. It kept me cool. And then I have my little tropical cold Fanta. So now the guy from Ryanair is telling us in an interview that I just watched the other day, hey, why don't you just, we're going to have this great thing we're going to offer to people. You're going to stand during the flight. And he's actually telling us in this interview that I watched, saying like, because the interviewer was telling him, but isn't that dangerous? He's like, no, it's actually more safe to stand than to sit. Allegedly. So there's that. Then I don't know, like, what else was there? It was a long list of products. Getting a house, buying an apartment back in the day. It was doable. Now it's not. Studying, student loans, all that stuff. So, deeply earrings, like standing flights is insane. I know. Jesus is like, how about they inject us straight into the air and hope for a safe landing in the country you want to go to? Yeah, basically. They'll charge you extra if you want to be ejected first, of course. Oh, yeah. And then also another thing that was listed in that video was like when you buy software back in the day, like let's say like in the early 2000s, you would buy Adobe, you would buy Photoshop, you would buy Adobe Premiere or whatever, and you buy it, it's yours, right? Now you can't. Now now it's a subscription. You have to pay monthly. So there's that has changed. Cars, I think Tesla or some other brand of car was kind of contemplating to charge. So you buy a car, you buy your car. You're not leasing it. You bought your car, but in order to use in winter the heating of the car, you would have to pay a subscription. This is coming. Brace yourselves. Brace yourselves. You're going to buy a car and then you're going to have to pay a monthly fee just to be able to push the freaking button to turn on the heating. It was BMW? Okay, whatever. BMW then. Hey, Hot Pink Ray, how's it going? Microtransactions, says iStorm. I wonder if they will bring in a subscription service for designer luxury goods. We were talking about that utopia or dystopian future as well in one of my live streams several months ago, where we hypothesized that speaking of like making fun of seeing bags as investments or not, we were hypothesizing, well, what if if one day these brands make you pay for the bag and then like you have to keep it. Wait, what was our theory? You have to keep it for 2 years. Okay. So you have to pay extra money on top. So let's say the bag is $2,000. You got to pay $4,000. And then you get the $2,000 back 2 years later if nothing happens to the bag. If something happens to the bag, you lose $2,000. So it's like up to you to keep the bag fresh. So there's that. $15 a month for heated seats, or they'd turn it off, says the Nectarine Man. Okay, so that is BMW, I guess. Okay. Allegedly, of course. Everything I say in this live stream is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged. What am I supposed to read here? Okay, so let me read a couple of the comments that I prepared, you guys, from that particular video, because I found it so interesting. And also what all of you were saying in the comments about things that were considered normal before are a luxury today. So somebody said, that's a long one. Wait, which one are we reading? I wish I could have made the live stream, like to watch you live. Such a great and important topic to cover. I have been thinking about this so much lately. I wanted to upgrade to a new BMW only to find out BMW charges a monthly subscription fee for their heated seats, Wi-Fi hotspots, and pretty much every other feature that I would already be paying extra to have installed. It makes no sense. So it's already happening now. Y'all. We're living in an episode of Black Box or The Twilight Zone. So, comments. Somebody says, thank you. This is a really good video. I'm old enough to have experienced the 70s, 80s, and 90s. Not everything was better and simpler, but a lot was. Another great video. Thank you. Thank you. Of things we are all thinking to varying degrees, but need to be out in the open more. But as you say, the corporations monopolize everything. The software subscriptions are annoying as hell, and airline legroom is beyond ridiculous. I was on a flight recently and was thinking about the blood clot thing, exactly as you described today. The world is going to HE double hockey sticks. Yeah, I mean, the seats that are still available, like in, coach economy, like you sit so clamped together, especially for tall people. It's really bad. You can get a blood clot. Very dangerous. Oh, and then there's always like some political conversations starting. So this is, for example, Squickity writes, I agree with all points above except the discussion between capitalism versus socialism. What we have in the US right now isn't really capitalism. It's just big corporations owning everything, including the government via lobbyists. It's closer to, I can't even say this word, the F word, ASC-ism. Really just with a pretty facade. What is really missing is a capitalism of a strong middle class. Capitalism versus socialism, communism/communism really is just the uber rich creating division, in my opinion. Elites control everything in both systems. Just my opinion. Love the commentary. Like, I never said it's not like this, though. And also, I never said that one form is better than the other. I mean, capitalism versus socialism. I actually, in that video, I say both have terrible flaws. And then I actually mentioned Vivienne Westwood in that video. And I say, well, in that live stream in particular, because somebody said, well, what is the alternative? Like, okay, no socialism, no communism, no capitalism. What is the alternative? And then I said, well, Vivienne Westwood, in her last phases of her life before she, passed away, she was developing her own economical system that she thought would save the world. And she called it no man's land, where basically she says the earth belongs to all of us. Nobody can own earth. And so if you want to utilize, well, it's a really complex system, but in the simple gist of it is if you want to, you can rent land, but all the money goes back to the people. But only for a certain period of time you can rent it. You cannot own it outright. And it all kind of starts from those building blocks. Very fascinating. But anyway, you should check it out. I think now that Vivienne is no longer with us, her husband, Andreas, I think he's going to finalize her whole theory. And she was also working on these economical no man's land playing cards that would showcase her theory and how she envisions a better economical system for all of us. It's super amazing. Anyway, so there's that. Then somebody else says, oh, so cute. Cece says, it's the most realistic video I've seen. It made me tear up. Well, yeah, it's kind of sad when we see all the stuff we used to have and now we're not allowed to have them anymore. You know, it's like losing your freedom bit by bit. Heaven JB says, gosh, rent hasn't been less than 75% for me since I was out of college 30 years ago. I think that 30% came and went with anyone past 1970. Huh. Somebody says, remember when folks could buy a pocketable compact digital camera for about $150? Remember when appliances did not break after 4 years? Going to the airport with TSA is entering a police state nowadays. It is so much capitalism, but crony capitalism in league with government fused into one big F deep state, which uses all of its immense power to control and degrade us. Mass immigration increases the population and puts pressure on the available housing stock, which increases prices. People are sharing like opiniones. How about mobile phones that actually had removable batteries and expandable SD cards? In many cases, when consumers had a choice, they blindly went along with things like mobile phones without removable batteries or expandable SD card readers, because everyone mindlessly wants to copy Apple, or consumers simply do not think and just passively go along with the latest trends. Some critical thinking is sorely needed. Moni Mars says, the takeaway for me is we are brainwashed to allow for these things to manifest into reality. Why does the consumer not know that we are the ones holding all the cards? I think it is time for us to detach from the mainframe and start refusing to allow these companies to rob us, whilst making us hold the bag for them. Flying when I was a child was a luxury. Not everyone traveled. In fact, it was rare and exotic. Now we pay more money to travel, and all the luxury that came with it disappeared. We accept this. We do not push back. We often feel powerless. Maybe it is time for everyone to demand the guarantee that comes with the high price tag and refuse the nonsense that comes from these multiple subscriptions. I believe FOMO has made many of us brain dead, and we need to detach from the ridiculous need to mimic shopping behavior. Influencers are dangerous. If you did not have social media, you would not have any idea what people were wearing or owning. I miss the days when the only way I knew what the street fashion was when I opened up a magazine or saw it for my own eyes. Individuality has been lost in a wave of trends and replication of style that it even impacts the most basic things we use. Even a kitchen spoon can become a trend, if enough influencers tell us it is. I am waiting for the glass ceiling to break soon. Wonderful comment. Wonderful comment. Seabreeze writes, the central banks have been inflating away their debt at our expense as part of a supercycle. We're at the tipping point of the fifth boom/bust. The last one. It's been inflating stocks, especially including luxury companies, hence price rises. The recent bull market was the lowest interest rate in 5,000 years. Yes, 1,000. And Maneko64 covered this data. I haven't seen this. So the bounce back will probably be higher interest rates than ever, even the 70s. Luxury companies are likely trying to get ahead of this with a lockdown as excuse. They have analysts and forecasters too. EA says rent is dependent on where you live. You can't get approved for a rental if you don't make 3 to 4 times your rent in my area. Leah says, it is hard to face all the ways our quality of life is being reduced for the sake of maximizing profit. Agreed on about airplane space. We have laws for minimal cage size for animals. Humans deserve the same consideration. Then somebody Somebody made a comment about LV Lover CC again in a video that has nothing to do with it. Or did we mention? I don't know. So somebody said, Jacob, this lady went to Chanel to check on her inferior black Chanel bag, but ended up buying more. Money will do that to you, you know. So Hina Taristina says the vertical seat, standing seat, stand-up seat is also a thing since 2003, created by Airbus and promoted by Ryanair as well as Spring Airlines. Well, there you go. Gidra, hey sweetie. Gidra says, what a great video, Jacob. Thanks. Thank you. I was laughing so hard, but it is sad. Love that you touch various subjects, not just halls like so many. So it's so true. But it's all done by design. It's because then was capitalism, now it's monopolists leading into communism. Yet they squeeze us to the point. Oh, Barbara, thank you so much, sweetie.
Barbara Shiuka donated $20. Your video are so fantastic always, thank you for all your time and effort in entertaining everyone.
Oh, thank you so much, my love. Papa Cherry Bubbles for Barbara. There you go. Thank you. Very kind. So they squeeze us to the point that people would be just happy to accept, don't owe anything and be happy. Don't own anything, but be happy. But it's not going to happen. The new system opposite to this controlled madness is coming. All banks worldwide, well, almost, are ready to be operating under the new system. I'm not so sure about this, but I know, Gidra, you've been writing this since over a year in the comments. But who knows what's going to happen? I mean, but whatever's happening right now, a lot of people are very unhappy. So if a lot of people are really unhappy, something is going wrong. That's like kind of the bottom line. You know what I mean? Hey, Don Spatz. Hey, Blue Ayano. Hey, Harmony Farina. Harmony. Wow, Jacob, I love your channel and especially the live streams. Thanks for always sharing your truth. P.S. I'm still waiting for Chanel to tell me what they are going to do about my peeling wallet on chain. You know, it might take a while before they come back to you. Hey, Don Dism, but you might have to kind of poke at them, be like, hey, excuse me, did you forget about me? Can I have an update, please, on my bag? Don't let them forget that there's an issue with the bag. You know what I mean? So, okay. So Alicia says, isn't it against federal law to refuse to give someone water on a plane? I mean, I know that you have to pay for bottled water probably, but I don't think they can refuse you to give you any water. Maybe I'm wrong. So there are some air companies where you really have to purchase water and they don't give it to you for free. I'm not so sure if legally they are obliged to give you free water. The thing is this, though. I mean, I'm no expert, but as far as I understand, when you're flying up in the air, it's like very, very, very dry. It's very dehydrating. So if you haven't hydrated enough already before stepping on board the plane, as far as I understood this, but correct me if I'm wrong, if we have some doctors in the house, how does it work if we have, if you come on board already not so hydrated, and then the plane takes off, and up in the air, it's very, very dry, right? It's very dehydrating. And then you feel weak and you feel like you're going to, faint. And you ask for water and you're just like, you're too woozy to even have the strength to look for your bag, open the bag, look for your wallet, pull out a credit card, swipe the credit card to pay $10 for a bottle of water. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder why there isn't some legislation, and maybe there is. Maybe we got a lawyer in the house as well to tell us this, but like, I agree with this person. I'm like, listen, at least water should be warranted on board. Like, to give you a glass of water if you're feeling poorly. But no, I have flown with some companies where they charge you for water. You're not going to get it if you don't pay for it. So I don't know. Yeah, it's really difficult. Really difficult. I'm so glad I don't fly anywhere, says Alex. Yeah, right? Love a good road trip. Loathe flying, says Kristen. Hey, your access to the red carpet. Water is essential. I agree with you. Johnny says the blood get thicker. Blood clots, low blood pressure, fainting, confusion, even heart problems. There you go. Johnny is a nurse, by the way, so. Allegedly, right, Johnny? I just go from what you say. Jesus says, if they're decent people, they'll bring you water if you're struggling. I agree with that too. Tina says Air Canada used to give out cups of water every few hours. Liano says the fact that it even costs money to be unalive and buried. Oh, Lord help us. Yes. And I was actually reading just yesterday one from my archives from the United Colors of Benetton. Do you guys remember in the 90s, Benetton was under the artistic direction of, brain fart. Well, what's his name? The photographer. Italian. What's his name? Somebody tell me in the chats. I'll remember. Very, very controversial photos for Benetton. Thank you, Melissa. Oliviero Toscani. So Oliviero Toscani was making these amazing United Colors of Benetton magazine issues. They were, you guys, I literally just like dug out of my archives the issue dedicated to death. Mind-blowing. So the entire issue is dedicated to, you know, like how it is to pass away in every culture, like every different culture, different attitude towards death, how they dress you up afterwards, like what is the fashion of the casket, like the religious aspect of it. Like it's a magazine that dives deep into all of these taboo topics that we never talk about, and it kind of prepares you for it. And I was like mind blown. I was like, wow, we have had such incredible things from an intellectual standpoint in the past published and distributed through boutiques like Benetton. And nowadays we've lost all of that. Mind blowing. I would love to read some of the stuff from that magazine. Of course, we can't do it on YouTube because it's a copyright situation, but man, oh man. And I was reading through it and I was just like, with every page I would turn, I would get more and more mind blown. The photos, first of all, incredible. But then the texts and the analysis and the interviews that they did with like specialists oh my gosh. It was just, I was like, wow, just wow. So, and yes, then there was this one page, a 2-page spread listing back in 1998. The issue came out in 1998 or 1997. And they were kind of listing the price of passing away, like how much it costs for a casket, for an outfit, for a burial, for flowers, for putting an ad in the newspaper, like the little thing. So back in 1998, first world country passing would cost you around $11,500. And that was the price tag back in the late 90s. And that was already very expensive. Yeah, the Colors magazine, Angie. It was called Colors. Amazing. Oh, it's always been a business, Jen, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, dear. Just looked up Toscani for Benetton. The colorful. Yes. Yes. Yes, Marcel. Amazing. I still have a t-shirt with that. With several of those. And one of them was 2 soccer balls inside of one unrolled thing. He was great. He was really, really great. Oh man, he ruled the 90s. He ruled the 90s. He really, really did. Speaking of the 90s. So anyway, wait, hold on before we get to that. So I just want to say, guys, I'm so proud of you. Everybody, all of these comments that you left underneath that video are so thought-provoking. Some of them are controversial. Sure, some of them are silly. Some of them are funny. Some of them are like super, super like thought through and researched. Some of them have a bit of conspiracy sprinkled throughout, but like they're all so amazing. And everything, like we have somebody saying even fast food is charging so much now. Now think of that. I also agree with with single families purchasing a home. The house I live in now was just passed on by my grandparents, and it was only $20,000 in the 70s. Now we can sell it for over $150,000. Good thing it is well maintained. Holy Grace says, bring back movie stores. I miss Blockbuster. There you go. And then Angie also here says, with the cost of funerals, I'm not sure I can even afford to pass away. And then Selena answers, yes, I don't think I have a pot to piss in. And then Max says, well, there are cheaper options like cremation. So I'm telling you, this was too hot. I'm sweating all over my Speedy. Tallulah, I can't. It's too hot in here. All right. So speaking of the 90s and vintage, let me film this segment. Okay. Over 200 people watching, 99 thumbs up. Can we get to 150 thumbs up, you guys? Because I want to make a little reveal. We got 99 thumbs up. Get your Super Dacob merch. www.superdacob.com now. And we'll go. 114, 123. Yes, Quinn. Let's get to 150. We need 20? Oh, 125. We need 25 more likes. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Just stuff me and use me as a mannequin, says Marcel. Well, there's a name for that. For that type of kink. 129. 130. 20 more to go. That went fast, you guys. We can do 20 more. And then we're at 150. But what I would give to see Mariah perform live in the 90s, says Blue Ayana. Oh, that would be cool. Tiger Lily said, I stopped my gardening to thumb up for you. Thank you, Tiger Lily. Very sweet. Thank you. 132. Okay, so we need 18 more. Am I right? 18 more? Yeah, 18 more. Late 90s was special for me. Got PS1 in 97, says Zane. Oh, interesting. Well, what I'm about to show you happens to be from 1997 as well. 132. Come on, we can't stop here. 132 likes? Seriously? Y'all. Cement shoes. We go, Debbie. Whitney Houston. Awesome. Yeah. Jen Horror. We'll go. We'll go. 135. Okay, 15 more to go. Come on. We're going to schlep our way through this. Ampersand. Yee, how exciting. The PS1 was a good console, though I was a little bitter toward it at first because I was a hardcore Sega girl. My son is passed out on the couch in a Bubbles tee. Oh my God, I'll pink red. That sounds amazing. Bubbles Boaba. Slipping. The whole concept of it is fantastic. Oh, Jesus, you were in diapers in 1997? Some of us still are. In diapers, I mean. Not in 1997. Although, I love that I always make it in time for vintage talks. Yup. Listen, Sega Mega Drive. I loved the Sega Mega Drive, but for me it was always Nintendo, y'all. Always. I also had an Atari. I still do. I love vintage video consoles and games, so, you know. But the first Sonic the Hedgehog on Sega, primo. 139. Come on, we can do 11 more. Mother Oates, Mariah Carey's 2010 ABC Christmas special when she was pregnant with twins, live on TV for an hour in heels, singing in 5 octaves. She set the standard of excellence in serving, says Mother Oates. 140, 10 more to go. Oh, you were 5 years old, Tyler, in 1997? Wait, that would make you... How old are you now? You're going for 30. You don't look a day over 21, honey. Your access to the red... not a day over 20, actually. Your access to the red carpet. I saw Mariah live at Times Square when I was covering New York in New Year's Eve. Her mic mishap was awful, and as she plows through the crowd, her whole entourage was insane. Well, at least you were there for a pop cultural historic moment, even though it was trashy. Oh, Kristen was 12 in 1997. Alex says, I was 4, I think. Oh my God, you're all babies. Trina says, Jesus, you just made me feel very old. I was married with kids. Oh, 143. We got 7 more to go. 7 more likes to go. We'll go. And wait, is Julie Scott with us? There she is, Julie Scott. I had fun in the 90s. Irina Van Ronkel. How's it going, sweetie? My chihuahua named Mimi in honor of Mariah Carey. Cute. Does it sing like Mariah? Does it bark like Mariah? Angie says, oh my God, Atari. Remember being so excited when it came out? Memories. My house is a Sega and PlayStation household. No Xboxes are allowed through my doorway, says Ampersand. Marcel says 141, 144 now, y'all. We need 6 more to go. Just got here. Hey, Carla. Sorry if I missed it, but question. Will you be doing Sex and the City recaps? Carla, my dear, I'll do you one better. Tomorrow, I am live streaming from Totally Jacob, my pop culture channel. Yes, there will be a live stream this Sunday dedicated to Sex and the City. So be sure to tune in for the recap of episode 1 and 2 of season 2 of And Just Like That. Tyler says, -5. I was born in 02. Oh, -5. -5. Okay. All right. There you go. You don't look a day over 17. Tyler. Melissa says, I was 17 in 97. Those were the days. Oh, Cosmic Acid says, I was 6 in 97. I miss those days. Holly Grace says, Mariah Carey is one of the OG divas. She so gets away with it. What a legend. I was 33 in 1997 September, says Sherry. Yeah, your access to red carpet is like, exactly, darling. I was 1 in 1997, says Ophelia. Bliana says, I was born in 1999. Now I'm turning 24 on July 1st. Really? Wait, 1999? Oh, yeah, you are turning 24. It took me a minute because I'm really bad at math. 4 more likes. Come on, y'all. We're at 146 likes. Melissa, we're the exact same age, says Pau to Melissa. How does Jacob look this young? What do you mean? I'm 237 years old and I don't look a day over... I don't know. Marcel is like, I was 238 in 1997. Oh, T-Pal, you were in your dirty 30s in 1997. Don Spat says, OT, bought my first Gucci today. Ah, congratulations. I wanted to see... Oh, sorry, I'm really late with the chats. I wanted to see Mariah so bad during LA Pride, but her ticket prices were homophobic and they packed the crowd like sardines. Cha, Tyler. That's a diva for you. Corey K says, am I the only one old enough to remember TV without remotes? Had to get up out of your chair to turn the channel? Wow. Them was the days, them was. 1 more like to get to 150. I will take 1 vocal mishap with Mariah Carey because then you know her microphone is on and real is real, unlike some others, says Mother Oates. Yeah, says Jen. Kravi says, I always thought that my childhood in the 90s was a bit meh, but now I think it was the best kind of meh possible. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. The Bloom small tote. What are you talking about? Oh, that's the bag. The Gucci tote bag. Hey, Rosanna Navarro. Good morning, everyone. 90s. CNC Fetchwe. Oh, hey, the House of Louis. Hey, hi, gay. It's Pride Month. Every gay is welcome here. We embrace the lesbians and all the homosexuals. So hi to you for this month of June. Malin says, I'm 43 and I was so close to ringing my nephew's neck at family reunion. He's like, Auntie, you were born in the 1900s. I was mortified. Oh, Malin, don't listen to him. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Don't know what he's talking about. Still 149 likes, y'all. Thumb up the live stream. I can't believe we're wrestling for one like. Jesus says, Mariah screeching for the gods. Mama, yas, a skinny legend. Standing. Oh, Debs. Yes, Quinn. Irina says, I'll be 38 in 5 days. Remember life with cassette recorders. We still love our cassettes, though. We still love our cassettes. I recall having an old black and white TV in my mom's apartment. Not used, though, says Alex. Oh my God, D. Higginbotham. I was the remote when I was a kid. Yeah, the parents would just say like, come on, D, go change the channel for Mama and Papa. 155 likes. Okay, are you ready for this? Bubbles, start recording. Okay. So I went on a hunting trip, as one does when one is searching for gorgeous luxury vintage items, and particularly bags in my case, since I am obsessed with bags. And, well, out of the blue pops up a little something, and I'm going to share it with you right now. Now, I know a lot of you always ask me, Deko, where do you buy this? Where do you buy that? I'm not gatekeeping anything here. The only reason why I don't disclose where I buy what on secondhand markets is because I don't want, there's always going to be some sketchy people that you might encounter on online websites, secondhand and stuff like that. And I don't want anybody to, get in trouble by purchasing something from somebody who is sketchy, and then they come to me and say, Deko, so that's the only reason why. Do your due diligent research, because there's a lot of big online platforms out there, secondhand, pre-loved, but not every person selling on those platforms is kosher, if you know what I mean. So this is why I'm very, very cautious about that. Okay, now, here I is, looking. Oh, thumb up the live stream. Thumb up this video and subscribe while you're at it. Push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today. Get access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. Super Deko spelled together for extra perks. Thank you to all my members and patrons who have already pledged. Okay. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week. Come join the live chats. Hi, chat. Any guesses what this is? Marcel is like Chant d'Ancre. Oh, yes, this is a Chant d'Ancre, but this is not a vintage one. I bought this new. Actually, I did the unboxing on my channel a couple of months ago, so you can go check that out. Kristen says, I would never reveal my sources either. All right, well, there you go. So, okay. It arrived actually yesterday. It is a bag from 1997. The bag has a lot of green on it, so since I have a green screen on, you're going to see through the bag. But anyway, so spring-summer 1997. And it's going to be in box calf. In box calf and silk. It's a raw woven silk, screen printed. And Bloyana says, baguette? No, it's not a baguette, y'all. Not a baguette. The leaves are green. Can we turn off the thing just a second? Hold on, y'all. Let me put on, there you go. well, still doesn't work. The leaves are green, now they look black, but so this is a Dolce & Gabbana Spring Summer 1997 bag that is made to resemble, there you go. This is how this looks with the green screen in the back. Okay, so they are this green, the leaves. And this is the back of the bag. And the side of the bag. And the bottom of the bag. And this is the woven silk. Hold on, maybe you can see it a little bit more better like that. There you can see the texture of the silk. It is so divine. And the beige leather is a box calf. It has that Dolce & Gabbana plaque up here. And then inside is a little bit tricky. So there's a bit of an issue on the inside of the bag, which I just found out as the bag arrived. But hold on, let me just take everything out of the bag. So it's the classic 1997 interior for Dolce & Gabbana. They have this jacquard interior, which is kind of like a gros grand jacquard with the Dolce & Gabbana logo running all over it. And then here you get the Dolce & Gabbana logo, but this is what I found out as the bag arrived. We have this rust going on this side of the magnetic closure. And this is why I put this plastic bag on top of it, you know, just to kind of, I cleaned it all up and there's no rust underneath it here, but I do have a special leather place that I go to and they can fix this up. So I'm probably going to ask them to just completely exchange this, take this out. Also on the other side, to take both of these out and then just put new ones in. This is a standard shape, you know, they still make them today, so it's not going to alter the design integrity of the bag by exchanging these. But I just, you know, I know that you could technically kind of clean all the rust off, but I think, I don't know, I don't think you can really stop the rust from kind of digging deeper into the metal. So anyway, I'm thankful, however, that the rust did not pass on to the leather. It did not pass on to the textile here either. So we're good to go. That needs exchanging, right? So I'm going to put this plastic thing on top of it. So you see, I kind of covered it with this plastic so that, you know, it's protected until I don't take it to the cobbler or whatever leather person. Now, what is really fascinating, these rings are in wood, gorgeous wood. They're not bamboo, but you can see here a close-up. Cover my eyes if you want to see them. And what is fascinating, how much attention to detail they put on this bag. So first of all, both of these handles have been padded or stuffed so that they kind of have a roundness to them. They're not just flat. And then they've been folded and bent so that when you close the back handle falls on top of the front handle, and they're twisted in a way that when they overlap each other, it becomes like a tubular round handle. So it's flat on one side and rounded on the other. This one is rounded on top, flat underneath. And when they align on top of each other, you get one rounded handle. It's so comfortable to wear, and it's so perfectly aligned. They have stitched everything to perfection that it literally just falls into place. The handles are spooning, right? Tyler says, I can see Fran Fine carrying this. Such a campy 90s piece. I love it. It is gorgeous. And I was so happy when I found this. And I was like, you know what? I hope it arrives in time for my birthday. So I'm going to wear this for my birthday brunch. I just love it, love it. And so this is silk. Screen printed silk. It's a woven silk. I took a close-up picture of it so you can see more the texture of it. So it has that beautiful raw silk. Look at the woven texture of it. It's just so gorgeous. And so this was the spring summer 1997 collection. There were a lot of looks with this particular print. Obviously the photos are all, and this is the logo. It's so cute. It even has a logo on the front of the bag and the little metal plaque. And then here's even more, a bigger close-up of the pattern of the woven silk. Why don't I want to do it? Okay, how far can I zoom in? There you go. There you go. Look how beautiful the pattern is. Like some of the silk threads are thinner, some are thicker. It's almost like a tweed in a way, the way that this silk was woven. And so there was this gorgeous look, classic Dolce & Gabbana guêpière, worn by Naomi Campbell with this print. So the bust, the guêpière, is this print. And then she has a silk, like a white silk sheer dress falling all over it, like a gown falling to the floor. Really, really gorgeous. And there were jackets made with this print. There were at least like 6 or 7 looks with this particular pattern on the runway, 1997, spring, summer. So Jack's Bag Attack says, I love silk like this. Me too. The touch of it is just, oh my gosh. The leather though, listen, this is box calf. It's padded. It feels so good. Now the bag has other issues too. Bags like these are sewn together, but they also, like always with bags, you also have to implement some glue. So where the glue was placed, because the leather is so light, you know how after like 30 years glue can turn yellow or a brown color. So wherever there's like an extra excess of glue, there's a little bit of that browning happening, which it's just normal for bags this old. So you can see here, that's what's happening with the glue on that side. Here as well, where the stitching ends, a little bit of the glue comes out. You can see that. And usually when they're working with the glue, sometimes, you know, when they pull out the manufacturers, when they pull out the last thread, they twirl it and cut it off. And then sometimes one drop falls. It's called the last drop for the bag makers or also shoemakers. And then you find it like 20, 30 years later when it turns brown. And that's right here. There it is. That one little drop of glue. So technically this can be taken off. So obviously if the person who bought this bag in 1997, had they seen this little droplet of glue back then, they could have taken it off, but it was transparent back then. It turned darker with time. So right now it's a very, very dry, this particular glued little spillage. So I don't know if you can just like take it off. I don't want to risk it, but the leather is amazing. Look how clean and beautiful. And also the bottom of the bag is gorgeous. Somebody really, really preserved this bag. I mean, it's bending a little bit in that. Somebody really preserved this bag very, very well. And it has the logo inside. There it has its little plaque and its little made in Italy thing going on right there. And it has an interior pocket too, a zip pocket. So that's my vintage bag of the day review. So let me stuff it so you get to see how it is when it actually opens up on the side a little bit. Can we put some more stuff in here? This in there as well. Now I'm opening it way too much, but just for the sake of stuffing it completely so you get to see. I love bags like this. Like, I adore bags like this. They just don't make them like this anymore. Plus, the leather, it's still so supple 30 years later. How? Miracle. So, like they always say, somebody's trash is somebody else's treasure. Anyway, let me put back the green screen on for y'all. That was my little baglet reveal. I hope you've enjoyed it. What do you guys say in the chats? Krabi says, I'm a sucker for leaves and floral motifs. So pretty. I love floral motifs and leaves as well, especially like this green hue. Some of the leaves are like younger, some are a little bit more patterned. It's very interesting how they chose this pattern. And the only thing that I'm thinking about is now that, you know, so the seller, the salesperson did not list the rusting on, you see, trouble. They did not list the rusting in the auction. But then since it's underneath the thing, you know, it's completely like you got to bend this thing underneath to see it. Maybe the person that's selling it, they found it in their mom's closet or something. They didn't look there because on the top of the magnet, you don't see it. There's no rust on the top, only at the bottom. So I was thinking they didn't do this purposefully. It's not like they didn't want to disclose the fact that it's rusting. But now that I found out that it is rusting, I'm thinking of asking them to give me a part of the money back for the bag, just because I will have to repair it, right? I'm going to have to take it to the leather person to repair the bag. So that's going to cost me money, and it wasn't really listed. So I don't know. Well, anyway, let me tell you. So the bag was, Debbie says, this one was only 25. No, this one was not 25. It wasn't the cheapest, but considering how gorgeous it is. Oh, by the way, the actual glazing on this bag is divine. I mean, after 30 years, almost no cracking at all. Let that sink in. Those were the days. Now you're lucky if your bag doesn't, if the glazing doesn't crack after a month. So no, I spent $70 on this one. $70. $70, and I'm thinking to maybe ask for maybe $20 back or 30, because I don't know how much it's going to cost me to repair it. Or just forget about it and just not ask for a I don't know. I'm not sending the bag back. This is totally repairable. You know what I mean? Like it's not a problem at all to take that metal thing out and put a new one in, make it pristine again. That's fine. But it will cost me. And these little wooden rings are so beautifully made. Each one of these wooden rings are just perfection. So there you have it. Definitely a good deal, says VLTN. Thank you. Ryan says, Dolce & Gabbana. Yes, it is. Oh, yeah, regarding the glazing. Pochette Matisse has left the chat at glazing. Yeah. Yeah, Louis and Pochette Matisse. There can be some issues with the glazing. But yeah, no. Jack's Back Attack is like, what magic is that the glazing is still okay after 30 years? It is. I look at it and it's amazing. I don't know how close can I put it to you guys so you can see. Look at the glazing. Look at this glazing. Isn't it gorgeous? All that kind of dark brown that you see, that's glazing on the edges of the leather. Look at the state of it. It's glossy, it's nice, it's supple. It's not, you know, it doesn't have that weird dry look to it. It looks moist and buttery. Yeah, you can barely see the glazing. Exactly. It's super thin, but it's there. Beautifully glazed, says D. Vintage all the way, baby. Vintage all the way. Thank you so much for watching. Thumb up the video. Let me know your thoughts down below and subscribe. So that was my little vintage baglet of the day. I hope you liked it. And now let me do another. Let me just put it away before something happens to it. Lily Gal says, oh, wow, D&G have always made beautiful bags. I would keep it too, Dick. Oh, no, I'm definitely keeping it. Are you kidding me? This is, the bag is gorgeous. You just got to exchange the little magnet closure. That's like nothing. That's a joke. But the thing is, you know, back in the day, these bags were not the highlight of the collection. So what does this mean? This means that most of these brands would hit the runway with, clothing and barely any accessories, really. So it was all about the clothes and the shoes. And so very, very few bags were produced back in the day from these type of brands. Very few. And even fewer were sold. So it's very, very hard to find these bags nowadays. There's not a big market for them. Nobody really cares, yet. But as you've seen throughout the weeks, I keep showing you new stuff, new finds, and things that I select and curate in my collection, and you realize, well, these are actually really beautiful. There's no reason for them not to be desirable and covetable, and yet people just don't seem to care. But then again, things change. People also didn't really care too much about the saddlebag, right? Like 17 years after it was first released, when it was completely discontinued, nobody cared for it anymore. And then the brand brought it back, and then all of a sudden it became this huge success. All of a sudden everybody wanted the saddleback again, and so the vintage John Galliano era saddlebags plummeted. Well, no, skyrocketed in price. But that, I believe that the saddlebags are going to go down again. They've had their revival, and then when that revival is over, then they're done, and then they're going to be even cheaper on the secondhand market later because there's even more of them produced now. So 5-6 years from now, they're, going to be relatively cheap again. But when it comes to brands like Dolce & Gabbana, when you look at their 90s creations, it's something else. It's something else because that quality is never coming back again, first of all. Second of all, that type of design that they were into, this kind of 40s vibe, although this particular bag, I want to say, has a bit of a 70s. No, actually. No, this is also very 40s. 50s, 40s, 50s. I mean, you could say maybe it has a little bit of a 60s vibe to it because of the round part of it, but I want to say... a bug flying. Come to mama. It's too high. Oh my God, when they get hysterical like that? Seriously? But I don't know. What would you say this is? Is this like 40s, or are we talking 40s, 50s, or 60s? Debbie says 40s. '40s, 50s, says Gloria. Kristen says 60s. Anya says it could be 40s, especially because of the wooden rings. Vitor says 60s. Tyler says, I'm getting 60s Tupperware sales lady. Anna says mid-century. 70s because of the floral. Oh, okay. 60s, Bloyano. 70s. Tyler says, but in a chic way. Tupperware, but make it chic. I don't know. For me, maybe it's a little bit too round to give me 40s vibes. But then again, well, technically the wooden rings, they're giving me 30s vibes, actually. The way that it's folded on the side, this is giving me 40s. But the floral print now you're saying is 70s. Lily Gal says, I think it's definitely a 70s era bag. Your access to the red carpet says definitely 50s. Ampersand says, I'd say silhouette 60s, the pattern 40s. Kristen says, the color gives me 60s. Oh, Jack says, the silk embroidery, I say 60s. Interesting. T-Pal says 50s. Wow. So literally this bag could be 40s, 50s, 60s, or 70s. We got 4 decades. It encompasses 4 decades. I'm looking at it. I don't know. I can see it being A little bit of everything. Too small for a 60s summer bag, says Telma. It's kind of big, though. It's biggish, all things considered. Debbie says, it's just beautiful. It is a beauty. Very sturdy, gorgeous quality. The silk is not flawed anywhere. Hey, Rachel, how's it going in Taiwan? Taiwan. Lemoron says, not 90s. No, you guys. The bag was made in 1997. But that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking, what is the style of the bag? Because Dolce & Gabbana did a lot of retro, especially in the early 90s. Most of their bags were very, very 30s, 40s, and 50s inspired. Actually, mostly 30s, 40s, 50s inspired. Then there were some exceptions like this one, which seems to have a little bit more going on, especially in this particular, like this little, turn like that, pointy, and then up. It's not cut straight, but it has this ornamental aspect to it, which is not very 40s to me. But then again, they did have some whimsical stuff in the 30s as well. I don't know. Julie says, I'm thinking 70s because I had something similar that I bought at a vintage store. It was from the 70s, but a different brand, had a very similar look though. Well, but that's the thing, Julie. A lot of the things in the 70s were made to look like they were from the 40s and the 50s as well. So there's always kind of this echoing of styles and genres in every decade. We have these examples of like every decade does its own version of the past. But then in some decades, like in the 90s, with early 90s Dolce & Gabbana, they were very, very specific. They wanted to be very truthful to the original designs, especially of the 40s and 50s when it comes to bags. So, we've seen on my channel in the past a couple of also from the 90s Dolce & Gabbana bags, which were really one-to-one 30s and 40s style, like, or early 50s, but unequivocally, like you couldn't see them and make a mistake and say, oh yeah, well, this could be 60s, this could be, no, they were 40s or 50s and period. But then this one, it's a little bit more rounded, it has a little bit more rounded shapes, softer shapes, which gives me maybe 60s, 70s vibe as well. So the vibe of the show, Zane, is very Dolce & Gabbana 90s, very Sicilian, it was very 1997, very modern, very the guépières, the corsets, and these gorgeous clashes and mixes of mostly 30s, 40s vibes. Because in the 30s, there was this big movement in Europe also of Asian style combined with European style. So there was like this mix of textures in that collection in particular, where you would have these long draped coats that have wider sleeves that were almost resembling kimonos, but they were not. And then, of course, they added that Dolce & Gabbana touch of having those rounded fur collars around them, but then they were very tight and slender and falling down very long. Sheer, underneath which were very long dresses that were like baby blue with Asian ornamental embroidery on them in white to contrast the blue. Then you had, of course, the leopard print all over on some pieces, and then these leaves. It's definitely a dreamy 40s, 50s, but revisited in 1997. That collection. 40s, 50s vibes. Yeah. That's what it gives me on the runway. Julie Scott says, 20-year cycle, everything seems to come around every 20 years. Zane says, with all this information, the bag is inspired from the year 1938 or 1948. Well, thank you, Zane. Jen says, oh, yes, the leopard. Very Shania Twain, lol. Telman says, I love Dolce & Gabbana's big, bright floral prints. Can't see one without thinking Dolce. They have beautiful floral prints. Rachel says, that's how nostalgia works. It tends to collide and collapse eras for whimsy. which is awesome. And Mercy says 40s were big in the 90s. 40s were also really big in the 80s. You know, 40s always get a comeback somehow. Hold on, I'm starting to shine. Let me retouch let me powder myself. And then thumb up the live stream, you guys, because we're going to do another topic. Oh my God, it's so hot. It's like a sauna in here. And yeah, lovely. Found basket example from 50s in this shape. Oh, really? When you said basket, I thought you meant the movie Basket Case from the 80s. Jen Horror might know. It's one of my favorite horror movies. Basket Case is a great horror movie. Don't know how you don't have the AC on. Caleb couldn't never. Yeah. But the problem with the AC is it's very loud, so then I can't really I can't really filter it properly from the microphone. But then also it makes me feel very, I don't know, AC it does something to me. I don't know, it's not healthy. I don't like it. Honestly, I don't like it. It makes me feel sick. 40s were also big in the 80s. Shoulder pads. Yeah, 40s were big in the 80s, definitely. Remember Dick Tracy? That was a vibe. Anyway, so what's the next topic? Thumb up the live stream and let me tell you something. A little something. Where am I now? We are talking about asset or accessory. Okay. Where is the thing? Oh my God, you guys. So there's this article. So before we start filming, I'm going to say this. So there's this article. I think it's the New York Times or something. I think it's the New York Times. But anyway, so obviously we're not going to read the article, right? Because it's somebody else. It's copywritten. But we can rewrite the article. And here's where interesting stuff happens when you ask Bubbles to rewrite an article in her own words. Paraphrasing stuff, right? So when you ask AI to read an article and rewrite it in their own words, then you are allowed to read the article word for word because it's a brand new article. Oh, Rachel, I tried doing analysis of 90s runways. Those videos failed. Nobody wanted to watch them. That's why I stopped. Hey, AI Ryan, humidity is horrible. My hair is ruined. I'm in New York. Yes, humidity. Why do I have my hair in a bun? First of all. Second of all, dying. It's just, I'm drenched. I feel like I'm now in a sauna. Blayana says, I want the small bag era to end so I can buy a saddlebag. But if big bags come back, then Jumbo Classic flaps in pre-love market will skyrocket more. Right now, they're 6 to 7K. Buy them now, as Jacob would say. Yeah, but it's still a lot. 6 to 7K? You know what I mean? Like, they should be 3K. Then we can talk. Yes, style with Elsa Clinch. Yes, of course. Okay, let's do this. So I'm going to let you guys know. So this is how it's going to go. We're going to read Bubbles' version of the article. Isn't that interesting? So, all right. What is this? Is it the New York Times? I don't know. Yes, oh, actually. These bags, luxury bags, are they an asset or just an accessory? Whether it be a Birkin, whether it be a timeless classic double flap, whether it be a Lady Dior, a saddle bag, Louis Vuitton puzzle bag, Fendi Peekaboo, Antigone, whatever, you name it. If it's a bag, can it be an asset or is it just an accessory? Well, there is an article that I have read, and I shall be paraphrasing from it, that touches base on this exact topic. Asset or accessory, luxury handbags spark growing interest. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Before we get to it, push the join button next to the subscription button. Become a member today and gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon, Super Decobal spelled together there as well for extra perks. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week and you're all welcome to join. Hi, chats. So, listen, you guys. 3 years ago, a finance coordinator working in London. Oh, this is very much like a Carrie Bradshaw moment. Okay, like, you know what I mean? When she starts typing in Sex and the City. 3 years ago, a finance coordinator working in London bought her first Hermes handbag. And now she owns 4. She spent nearly £100,000 on these exquisite accessories with a plan to hold on to them for at least 5 years. This is the good old days, the season 1 of Sex and the City. You know what I mean? Like how episode 1 begins. This is how episode 1 begins. Except the British lady, she wanted to get married to a dude in New York. In this case, in our version of the story, she wanted more Hermes bags. And guess what? She expects a return on investment between 40 and 50% once she decides to sell them. Intriguing, right? Well, this finance-savvy individual realized the profitability of the handbag market, and it piqued her interest. But she's not alone. Many wealthy individuals are now considering handbags as a literal investment category. The term investment piece is often used in fashion to describe items worth splurging on due to their timelessness. However, for a growing number of people, that expression has taken on a whole new meaning when it comes to handbags. And you know we've been talking about this for a while now. Can it be considered an investment, buying a handbag or not? Now, I'm no financial advisor, so I cannot give you tips on investments of any kind when it comes to this, right? But we've been talking about it a lot. We've been conversing about it, like buying a handbag. A Munchkin Speedy, is that going to bring back some money if you sell it one day? Or are you just buying it to enjoy it and wear it and use it? Or are you going to buy it to put it in a safe and then take it out one day to profit off of it? Blue Ayana says, and just like that, I wanted more Birkins. Yeah. Handbags as collectibles have seen a surge in interest alongside skyrocketing prices in the primary market. This trend has caught the attention of professionals in the luxury industry and wealth management. Harry Hundle, managing partner at Mayfair's boutique wealth advisory firm, Hundle, which manages about $1 billion in assets, notes the increasing prevalence of luxury handbags as a valuable asset class. Luxury research group Agility also confirms this shift, revealing that handbags have become a part of what high net worth individuals consider as passion investments. Along with watches and jewelry, the handbag category has undoubtedly started playing a significant role in diversifying investment portfolios. Women and younger clients seem to have a particular interest in luxury handbags, although only about 10 to 20% of them take that interest to an investment level. However, these clients often continue to invest more in established categories such as art or classic cars. Let me blend in a chart now. Now, look at this. Components of Knight Frank Luxury Investment Index percentage charge in price from quarter 4, 2021 to the fourth quarter of 2022. It's showing us percentage change. Components of Knight Frank Luxury Investment Index percentage change in price from fourth quarter 2021 to quarter 4 2022. Art is in pole position. So still to this day, according to this source, art is where people are investing the most. Second position, classic cars. Watches in third place. And in fourth place, handbags. But handbags are really growing quickly. Underneath the handbags, we have wine, then coins, then jewelry, then furniture. Colored diamonds come after that. Well, together with furniture, I want to say. More or less in the same position. And then we have rare whiskey. But handbags are in fourth position. Interesting. So now let's talk numbers. Prices of luxury handbags have soared in the primary market, showcasing impressive growth. Over the past decade, a medium Chanel classic flap bag has more than doubled in price, reaching a staggering $10,200 as of June 2023. Another price increase coming up apparently in September. Allegedly. Everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in any truths or facts. Everything's alleged and just my opinion. In just 3 months between October 2022 and January 2023, the hero products of 21 luxury brands tracked by HSBC saw an average price increase of 3%. So according to 2022 report by Credit Suisse, Chanel handbags, along with traditional Chinese works of art and wristwatches, offer excellent inflation protection. So now they're talking that in particular, Chanel bags offer inflation protection. Allegedly. But they're not mentioning the fact that the quality is not there anymore either, allegedly. So what protection, girl? You put your bag in a safe and then you go into the safe 5 years later, you open it up and like half the bag is peeled. What are you going to do? Talk about investment. Allegedly. This makes the handbag category all the more appealing to investors who not only seek financial returns, but also enjoy owning and using these exquisite objects. So, what do industry experts have to say about this fascinating trend? Rachel Kofsky, international head of handbags and accessories at Christie's, shares her insights on the growing interest in luxury handbags. Kofsky explains that clients today strike a balance between their passion and love for handbags and making sound financial decisions. Some clients acquire six-figure handbags to use daily, while others keep them as wearable works of art, displaying them in custom cases, as we've seen Louis Vuitton do just a couple of days ago with the Pharrell Williams for Louis Vuitton first collection as artistic director. The $1 Million Club Keepall, or is it a Speedy 40, made out of crocodile, hand painted, and diamonds, hardware in gold. Even with all those precious materials mentioned, that bag still ain't worth $1 million to me, but they're charging you $1 million for it. Just saying. In fact, Christie's global sales of handbags reached a record high of $32.8 million in 2022. This tremendous success has led the auction house to offer courses on collecting handbags as an alternative asset. So if you're interested in becoming an expert in this field, you might want to check those out. Thanks, but no thanks. Now, the finance coordinator we mentioned earlier sought advice from a company called Bags by Appointment, which specializes in luxury handbag trading. About 100 of their clients have built handbag portfolios, bringing in an average investment of £500,000 to £1 million. Let that sink in for a minute, just from bags. Serena Piazzolla, head of strategy and growth at Bags by Appointment, explains how they guide clients in making informed purchases, helping them decide what, when, and how long to keep these valuable assets. Just like the art market, expert advice plays a crucial role in the collectible handbag market. Sebastian Duthie, director of art market research, emphasizes the importance of doing your homework and staying connected to the information circle. Rarity and pristine condition are key factors that contribute to the increase of value. To ensure the preservation of these valuable investments, companies like Bags by Appointment even offer storage services, keeping handbags in pristine condition, and that is their top priority. Of course, it's essential to exercise caution when entering this market. Authenticity condition and provenance are critical factors to consider. Adriano Piccinatti di Torcello, director at Deloitte, Luxembourg, warns that while these collectibles can represent an important portion of wealth, there are no guarantees for capital gains. So if you're thinking about diving into the world of handbag investments, make sure to be selective, prudent, and well-informed about the latest fashion trends and market dynamics. That interesting? That would wrap up that analysis, except there's one little plot twist. There have been comments underneath that particular article, which we have not read now. We have just paraphrased through it. There have been comments underneath that article. Interesting how people are not too quick to believe everything that is given to them on a silver platter. And I love critical thinking. So what do we get here? Somebody commented a day ago underneath that article saying, much very bad math in these assessments of the luxury bag market. The Credit Suisse report is completely skewed by Chanel's one-time hoisting of its prices by nearly 30%. To base any forward-looking projections on this would make zero sense. In addition, the concept of hiring an advisor to purchase handbags at a significant markup in order to build a portfolio is like paying your stockbroker a 50% commission on share price. 4 Hermes Birkins in a desirable 25 to 30 size range should not cost more than about £50,000 from the boutique. And no, they are not that hard to buy. Finally, and I say this as someone with a cool $500,000 in Hermes handbags, it's not at all hard to assess what's worth buying and what needs to be kept unworn in the box. The tiny limited editions, the à la carte custom orders, etc., pink in certain markets, black in all markets. Exotics, the Birkin reigns supreme, but is currently out of fashion above the aforementioned size 30. It's a 3-supplier market, so far less complex even than watches. It's surprising that financial savvy folk are falling for these advisory services. This person is awesome for this comment. Somebody else says, in response to the first comment, or part of the first comment, saying, some clients make 6-figure acquisitions in order to wear their bag every day, of the article. And then comment is, how do you wear a handbag? I thought you just carried them around like Mrs. Thatcher. Rarely have I read an article which screams so loudly, sell handbag futures. Somebody else commented, so basically you're telling us this is another Beanie Baby craze? The Beanie Baby craze and handbag lingo. Live and ferret. Somebody else says, why don't they just buy Hermes stock? Which is interesting, right? Think about it. And then somebody answers, it's not that they want to buy the stock. It's just an excuse to justify the splurge. Oh, look at me buying handbags as an investment. And then somebody else answered, you can't wear a stock certificate, but you can wear a bag. Maybe, and then somebody says, maybe in 200 years' time, people will still be writing in disbelief about the great handbag bubble of the 2020s. The comments were far greater than the article. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Rachel says, people who buy art, etc. for investment purposes do things primarily for tax purposes. So if handbags are included, get ready for an artificial price inflation. True, Rach, but in America, art is tax deductible. Not in every other country in the world. In many countries, purchasing art is not tax deductible. So there's that. But yes, in the States, art is tax deductible, which is also why you're going to see in a lot of corporations in the lobbies, when you enter their lobbies and you have the check-in area, the concierge area, you're going to see those ginormous paintings, most of the time ugly AF. Doesn't matter. Important is that they're expensive enough and they have to be showcased in the place of business, not used for private purposes at home, because that allows you to deduct it from taxes. So you have an asset, an art asset hanging in your lobby. You've purchased it for $1 million that you can deduct from all the other earnings that your hotel building business made that year. It's awesome. If you think about it. Now, are handbags allowed by the IRS to be deducted from taxes? I'm not so sure about that yet, but I'm no professional in that game, so I cannot tell you if that's the case. However, I can speculate that if that were to become the case and people were to be allowed to deduct luxury handbag purchases from their taxes, you best believe prices would skyrocket even more. And people would be buying bags even more. Just a thought. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you have, thumb up and subscribe. Love you loads. Comments down below. Bye. Ta! This article. Bubbles rewrote the entire article. What do you guys think? Bubbles. Yeah, Bubbles rewrote the entire article. AI, baby. AI. Don't forget, for those of you who are just tuning in now, to thumb up the live stream. We are only 5 likes away from 200. We're almost at 200 likes. 5 likes to go. So please thumb up the live stream. And for whoever's tuning in just now, I just wanted to let you guys know to tune in tomorrow to Totally Dacob, my pop culture YouTube channel, where... Yes, I do have another YouTube channel, believe it or not. Pop culture YouTube channel, where we will be reviewing live. And just like that, season 2, episode 1 and 2. We're going to have a whole little kiki conversation going on tomorrow with little snacks, nibbles. It's going to be a very chill environment. We're not going to go into all of these analytical aspects like we do on this channel. We're going to keep it very superficial, very fun, very lighthearted. So be sure to tune in to Totally Dacob. Subscribe today to Totally Dacob so that you can partake in the live chats tomorrow. Just wanted to let you guys know. So, and now we are, so let's see, let's get to 200 locks. So, all right. Oh, great. 205 likes. Oh, fabulosity. Oh, yay. Hey, MJ. Jen Horror, you discovered the psychedelic pumpkin. So, Jen, the psychedelic pumpkin was one of my first limited edition Halloween merch items. But stay tuned for something special coming up soon on my channel. I've been teasing for a while. Something is coming our way. Bubbles? Bubbles? Bubbles, I didn't mean that. Oh, damn it. When I call Bubbles, you never know what you're going to get. Bubbles, I meant the horror. The horror. Yeah, that's the one. Stay tuned for a very spooky presentation coming soon. Anyway, listen, do you want to hear about the man that made his own Birkin? I don't know if I should change the background for that. Oh, yes, Zane. There's going to be a third Hocus Pocus. I heard that too. I'm like, girl, like, he already messed up. Part 2 was... I'm not even a big fan of part 1, to be honest with you. It's just not my cup of tea. But, you know... Oh, number 2 was awful. Yeah, number 2, it didn't hit the... Oh, Cherry says, I just tuned in and Bubbles has gas. It's Bubbles. What can I tell you? What is your opinion on Bulgari handbags? And B. I don't own any. So, but... I think you have to be the right type. You see, the thing with Bulgari handbags, you have to be the right type of person to pull them off. And on my friend Romina Rosemay, if you don't know her, check her out. She's awesome. Check her out on her YouTube channel. Romina is the type of person that literally, like, Bulgari bags are made for her. They just look awesome on her. She has that body type. She has that style. She has that body language. She's like made for Bulgari bags, or rather Bulgari bags are made for her. You have to have that type of style. You have to be that type of person. And this is detrimental to Bulgari. Why? Because the way that their bags are designed, they're very, very specific. They're very niche. So they cater to a specific type of person, and they look good on a specific type of person, but they're not very universal. They're not going to look good on everyone. You see, and this is a problem. I mean, it's not a problem. It's only a problem if you want your brand to be super successful. You know what I mean? Worldwide. And the issue with Bulgari bags is that they are very, very, very niche. Beautiful. But like for me, it would be really hard to find one for me to really wear and use. They're beautiful to see, but on the right person. And Romina is the best brand ambassador for them. You know, it's just fits. Bulgari bags fit her like a glove. It just works. Like it works. Plus, Romina loves snakes, and you know, she always says she's a Slytherin at heart, you know, Harry Potter reference. And Bulgari plays with the snakes a lot. You know, their clasps are mostly snake heads. A lot of the handles of many of their bags are made in snake form and snake shape. So there's this whole organic aspect, reptilian aspect to those bags. Like, it's a very, very specific niche. And if you can pull it off, if they look good on you, then I say yes all the way. But Bulgari bags are not generic bags. They're just not. And yes, Chanel bags are generic. Very generic. Chanel bag looks the same on everybody. You're not going to look special wearing a Chanel bag. Sorry, you're not. Wearing a Chanel bag, you're going to look like you have money to spend on a Chanel bag, but you're not going to look special. When you wear a Bulgari bag, you will look special. Now, it might not suit you, so it might look off on you. But a Chanel bag, for example, doesn't look off on anybody because it's a very generic bag with a giant logo on it. It's, you know, that's why they're so popular also, because they're very, very generic. Yeah. Why did my chat freeze? Never saw Hocus Pocus, says Gloria Recinos. Oh, hi, Gloria Recinos. Jacob, how dare you? I grew up right near where it was filmed in Salem. Part 1 for me is my childhood. Salem is amazing. Amazing. Really amazing. And I watch every single video on YouTube I can find on Salem when people go to Salem for Halloween or not Halloween, or to, you know, to the cemetery where all the witches were buried and all that stuff. But the movie Hocus Pocus, yeah, it's not my type of horror. It's not even horror, really. I don't know what that is. It's not my type of entertainment. It is a musical, comedy, slightly spooky. It doesn't give me Halloween the way I want my Halloween. You know, for me, I don't know. For me, Halloween is more like, if we're going to talk pop culture, for me, Halloween is more like the Roseanne episodes from the 90s that she did every year. You know, she was obsessed with Halloween always, right? Well, she still is. Roseanne Barr. I would always look forward to a Roseanne Barr, and I still always look forward to whenever they come in reruns, or I have them all on DVD actually anyway. So like, if I'm going to do like a tacky pop cultural Halloween on television or movie form, it's Roseanne Barr's Halloween episodes. Always love those 2 bits, right? Otherwise, I like the serious Halloween movie, the serious horror movies, you know. 2 was awful. There's no defending that, says Jen Horror. It's like, but having said that, 2 was awful. I mean, Debbie, is it family friendly though? Part 1, not really. They eat kids and stuff. So, Julie Scott says, I think Bulgari bags are gorgeous. They're making a new Hocus Pocus' Purple Rain. Yes, part 3. You need the mist rising off the lake vibe with iconic music building the suspense. I understand. Same for me. Yeah. And also, Zane, like, you need the... Like, it can be camp. Don't get me wrong, you guys. Like, you know, like I said, one of my favorite horror movies is pop cultural phenomenon from the 80s, a Basket Case. Has anybody seen Basket Case? Basket Case is a low budget movie shot like literally with no money. Basket Case, the puppet is just you. It's so fake, but there's so much. That's Halloween to me. There's the gore. You could see the special effects made with so much love. There was no CGI. Everything was like hand puppeteered back then. And but there's the intention, and the intention was so raw. And it's a raw aesthetic that's what makes it really a good horror to me. But having said that, I also love sophisticated stuff like Silence of the Lambs, first horror movie to ever win an Oscar. Oh, there you go. Teresa says, I've seen Basket Case. Love that movie. I've seen all 3, by the way. They did do Basket Case 2 and Basket Case 3. Love it. I also love Ghoulies. And Critters. Yeah. Oh, Pumpkinhead, so underrated, says Melissa. Pumpkinhead is a really interesting one too. But came way later. You know, that was already, it had a different budget. Let's just say it had a different budget. There's one particular horror movie that really sticks out for me from recent years. Wolf Cop. It's a Canadian production, you guys. It is amazing. It was done on a very low budget, but it did so well that they did even Wolf Cop 2. Now that is a cool horror movie. It's funny, but also serious, but also creepy, but also funny. Has anybody seen Wolf Cop? Jen Har says, oh my God, I have it on DVD. Yeah. And in Wolf Cop 2, so when the cop turns into a werewolf, in one episode, oh my God, in one episode, in part 2, in one scene, Zane is going to rent out the movie immediately when he hears this. There's a scene where the werewolf is naked with wood and all. A werewolf with the schlong. And it's the cop. I mean, if you know, you know. There you go. Zane is going to be like, let me Google Wolf Cop. Oh, yes, Gloria. I have it on Blu-ray. I puts it in. So it's in part 2, by the way. So I watched part 1, loved it. I'm like, oh my God, let's watch part 2. Let me get part 2. I get part 2, start watching part 2. Then that scene come. I didn't know it was going to happen. That scene comes and, he's transformed into a werewolf, and then he's sitting on a couch doing something. And then he stands up, and then you're like, am I having some type of feelings for a werewolf all of a sudden? So that's my kind of horror movie. We're all Googling Wolf Cop. Yeah, Cherry. Melissa's like, well, that's tonight's viewing, so it ended. Yeah. Oh, yes, there's going to be an uptick in rentals, Jen. Wolf Cop, delicious. But when it comes to quality horror, where I even go so far to not just buy the movie, I always support the artists. I buy the DVDs, I buy the Blu-rays, I even buy the soundtrack. I buy the soundtrack. And of course, I also pay the tickets to go to the movie set. Like, I support artists, really. I love films and music. But so one of the latest horror movies where I went so far to even buy the soundtrack for the movie on CD. But then for my birthday, I was gifted even the soundtrack on vinyl made by Disaster Piece. It Follows. Now, controversial, a lot of people really that are in the horror community did not like It Follows at all. To me, it's one of the best horror movies from the last 10 years. Well, now 15, because it's getting older and older. But It Follows is a masterpiece of a movie. A masterpiece. Masterpiece. It Follows is a masterpiece. And I know some people, you either love it or you cannot stand it. But to me, it's magical. And the music, so that soundtrack, it's giving you 80s synth. The vibes, coming of age story. You got your teenagers, you got your final girl, or do you? You have your whole and you don't know what time it is. Is it the future? Is it the past? None of them seem to have internet, but they have phones. One of the main characters has this flip phone, and it's a seashell. A pink seashell. It doesn't exist. They made it just for the movie. I want that smartphone. It is a pink clam that opens up, and then there's the phone there. Oh my God. Anyway. Oh yes, Jen. Ending. Chills. It Follows is amazing. Oh, Rachel. Thank you so much,
Rachel donated $10. Love these spooky Jacob tips. Halloween is the best.
Halloween is the best, y'all. And I am the Halloween person because right on my birthday is when Halloween season begins on my channel. You guys, 30th of June, midnight to the 1st of July, and we begin Halloween season every year. That's how we roll in the fashion bunker. And these... Oh, Papa Cherry. Thank you, Rach. But the movies, Freddy Krueger, Ryan, I adore the whole Freddy Krueger saga. I even like the new Freddy Krueger. And yes, I also have the soundtrack. The Angelo Badalamenti soundtrack. Yeah, the same guy who did the music for Twin Peaks. He did it also for part 3 of Nightmare on Elm Street. All right, let's go back to Lux topics because we are losing viewers when we start talking about movies. So let's go back to the luxury topics because that's what you're here for. Sorry to all my viewers who like came here for fashion and luxury, and then you're like, oh, we're not gonna watch you talking about horror movies. All right, let's keep it on topic, Jacob. So do you want to listen? Do you want to hear the story of the man who made his own Birkin? We'll go. All right. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, where dreams don't come true unless you don't take them in your own hands, a fair prince decided to march off into the wilderness and find raw materials to build a bag as a gift and a token of his love for his fair lady. But not just that. He also went through great lengths to find the secret recipe for this bag. The blueprints of a Birkin. Let's see how that went right after this. Subscribe to my channel, push the join button next to the subscription button, become a member today, gain access to extra perks. You can also join me on Patreon. Super Dacob all spelled together there as well. Thank you for my members and to my members and patrons for having pledged. This video is being filmed live in front of a live virtual audience. I live stream several times a week. You're all welcome to join the live chats. Hi, chat. Yes, this lovely gentleman, and this has been in the news for weeks and weeks and weeks. People keep talking about it. This lovely gentleman. And I also saw the video on YouTube. This lovely gentleman did get the blueprints for a Birkin, did go through great lengths to get the leather for it. And I'm going to show you some screenshots. Let me show you. Let me move to the side. Okay, let's begin with the begin. Begin de begin. Begin de begin. All right, I found blueprints online and cut them out. So this is the lovely prince in shining armor preparing for the battle to give his milady a Birkin. Be sure to go subscribe and follow on TikTok. Live Yours Way. Really? Live Yours Way. All right then. Live Yours Way. I'll post the link down below. So you can follow that's ways to your lives yours way. So I found blueprints online and cut them out. So the blueprints and the prince in shining armor started cutting away this crocodile. Is it a mock croc? Maybe alligator? We don't know. Did he slay the alligator? The prince in shining armor, did he slay the alligator? Did he skin it and then started making it? Possibly. Possibly. Gwendid says, I'm thinking about making my own quilted style Chanel-like handbag and could do it better. I've tooled leather before. Oh, interesting. Well, he started, drawing, outlining the shape of the bag because, the Birkin is relatively simple as a bag. I mean, it has a front panel, a back panel, a side panel, other side panel, bottom panel. The handles might be a little bit difficult to make because you got to round off everything correctly. Glazing is not easy to do. Don't forget, there is interior lining leather inside the Birkin as well as an interior zipper pocket. Plus, probably the most difficult part of all is cutting through the side panels and the front panel to get that strap through and then attach the hardware for it to then lock into place. You got to perforate the top. Oh yes, there's one more, the top flap, right? That's another panel. That has to align. Everything has to align. It has to be sewn by hand. So let's see how the prince in shining armor did with the next picture. Tipa says, live yours way was taken, so it's, oh no, live your way was taken, so it's live yours way. Haha, possibly. Now, as I was watching this video, or this TikTok rather, I was thinking to myself, this prince in shining armor, he has his SHIT together. Because look at this. The perfection, the detail, the lengths to which he would go to give his fair lady, his milady, the proper Birkin. Look at all the detail. Gloria Recinos in the chat says, I have faith he can doff it. Well, now, so far so good. I'm thinking to myself, you know what, girl, if he keeps doing it like this, I'm a slide in those DMs and be like, hey, can you slay one for me too? So anyway, so let me show you how the Birkins. Oh, this is the Birkin Slayer. Oh, now I'm starting to understand. Hold it. Is this the Birkin Slayer? Well, we'll see if he's slayed or not towards the end. Moving on. Okay, now here I started doubting a little bit, just a little bit, because, well, I thought, okay, yeah, the top flap, interesting. It's still, when you see it, you say, oh yeah, Birkin. I mean, you say special Birkin, but Birkin-esque. You know, he had to perforate all these little things, all these little tiny holes all around, right? Because he has to stitch it all by hand. And I thought to myself, okay, yeah, I mean, he's not as clean as somebody who's been doing it for 50 years. That's okay. You know, it's his first Birkin. For his first Birkin, I thought, hey, I still might slide into his DMs for this. But we'll go. Then then it progresses. At this point, there's also a little bit of a handle being made there. Look at that. He did it. He did it, Joe. He did the handle, Joe. And it's all like so nicely together. I'm impressed. Next. And even at this point, I'm still impressed. Now, I know this is a little bit the handle is a little bit too tightened together. It's not open up, but it has character. It's made with love. It's charming. So far, so good. Ryan asks, will Hermes sue him? I don't think they will if he's making this for himself and if he doesn't put the logo on it, because they don't own the copyright to the shape of the bag. You know, it's not like Hermes owns the copyright to the shape. You're just not allowed. You can do a dupe. Allegedly. By the way, everything I say in this video is for entertainment purposes only, not rooted in truths or facts. Everything's alleged. Okay, we'll go. Okay. Just my opiniones. But I thought to myself, he even made the little hole here for the strap to come through, and he made the hole there. And I'm like, you know what? And he chose the right portion of the crocodile or alligator with the thicker scales right here. And then like they become smaller on the sides. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh my gosh, like, you guys, I'm still ready to slide into his DMs at this point. But okay, we'll go. So Gloria says, I'm rooting for Prince Charming. So how does this fairy tale continue? I mean, he's slaying the alligator. He's slaying the dragon, obviously. But is he going to slay the Birkin? Debbie says, I would so never have the patience to do this. Melissa says, I'm loving this guy. Okay, let me show you how it goes next. And I'm like, oh, look at the attention to detail. Because he's leaving the stickers on the hardware that he got. I don't want to know where you got the hardware. But you got it somewhere. But the fact that he's leaving the stickers on the hardware, like to protect it so it doesn't get scratched while he's building away, I'm impressed. He says, then I had to push the needle through each hole. Sure they. Was something else taken? So I don't know. Maybe there's some more text coming. I don't know. But anyway, Corey says, he is setting the bar very high for future gifts, says Corey in the chat. Well, at this point, I'm still like, there's a needle being pushed through each hole. I need to slide into those DMs. Gloria Athenos is like the hardware fell off a truck. Well, how very Chanel of you to say that, darling. So many holes, so little time. Anyway, moving on to the next picture, and I'm thinking to myself, still ready for the DMs. And then I hear, okay, so there is a girlfriend in the picture, but hey, I'm not jealous. My girlfriend always jokes that she wants luxury bag from, I guess, Hermes or something. And at this point, I'm still like, the dude is slaying it. Not only is he slaying it because he's slaying it, but also because look how he aligned the top panel, the top flap with the bottom panel, with the thinner little scale parts like aligning, and then the bigger ones in the middle. Like, dude knows what he's doing. We're impressed. We're impressed. We're impressed. We're not stressed. We're still impressed. So, moving on to the next picture, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, there you go. I was thinking, like, how does he do the hole? How does he fill that hole? And here he demonstrates. Realize how hard it was. Oh, sorry. No, I missed the second. I was just realizing how hard it was, but actually there's more to the text. Okay. Realize how hard it was going to be as a first project. I mean, look, the attention to detail, the little clippy thing that, pulls out. I mean, we're talking attention to detail. Zane said, such steady and delicate hands. Gloria says, does the attention to detail carry on to other things? One doth hope. One doth hope. Deep Layering says, she better marry that man. Thoughtful and industrious. Rosanna says, what love can make people do. Melissa says, like, Chanel should take notes. Well, anyway, so let's see how this continues. Oh, this fairy tale. Let's see how it goes. Well, I presume this is the fair lady, girlfriend, that received the final Birkin. And I'm noticing, why is there no strap going through these holes? And why is it not folded? And what is going on there? So she's shooketh. And I'm still not seeing what it is. But at this point in time, I'm thinking either it's one of those experimental Birkins, like limited editions, that they offer you to buy, where the boxes are lined in blue. The Hermes box is lined in blue. And I'm like, oh, is this one of those special Birkins? Or what will go? And I'm like, can I see more? Let me see more. So, something happened down there. The straps are too short, so he didn't make them go through the holes. I guess he didn't stuff every hole after all. Oh, but but the legs are there. Look, he even made little metal legs. She was like, WTF, says MJ. She was like, what? Wait. Okay. So Melissa says it still looks good. Deeply Eric says, wait, I've seen one where it turned out really great. Deeply, that's the one that turned up in the actual boutique that was made by the MS people. Oh my God. Well, he tried, says T-Pal. Now, Al Pow's like girlfriend is like, well, at least you tried. Okay. Louis says, I mean, it's the thought that counts. Tina says, it's a Gordon cartel. Okay, listen, let me just say something. Yes, when I first saw this, I thought to myself, no, I'm not sliding into those DMs no mo. Ain't no way, no how. But then, hear me out. The more I looked at this bag, he even made a clochette, you guys. He made a little clochette. The more I look at it and the more I think, It's actually really cute. Look, hear me out. It is highly conceptual. Okay. It's a sculptural piece. It's a sculptural Birkin. It's kind of Dali-esque. Like a part of it is melting on one side and the other part is kind of protruding and the proportions are slightly off. Like there's stuff is happening with this bag. It's morphing into it's into kind of a parallel universe or dimension. And I really like it. I know it wasn't intentionally made to look like this. He probably really wanted it to look perfect, but in its imperfection lies the perfection. We'll go. Because this is art to me. I would wear this Birkin. Well, Birkin, I don't know if you will call it a Birkin, but I would wear this bag because it's giving me vibes. And I also think that I don't even know if the flap actually really closes or if it's just, oh, maybe it does, or if it's just kind of, he made it as a panel and there's a hole behind the flap. I don't know about that, but Birkin for Antigona. Yeah, it's giving me a little bit of Givenchy vibes. Corey says, if Celine and Hermes had a baby. Oh, it's a Binkin, says T-Pal. Yeah. And Zane, you're right. Zane says, like, what if Hermes copies him? I mean, we'll go. What if he is hired as an Hermes artisan? Would it still count? Well, I mean, I don't think he would be hired for long, but if Hermes hired him to do this and they told him to make it just like this and he did what they told him to do and it had an Hermes logo, then it would be an Hermes piece. It would be an art piece, a Birkin art piece. You look bananas, says Hermes for Schiaparelli. I'm not hating on this, you guys. I think it's still worthy of a slide into a DM. Let me know your thoughts. Thoughts spelled THOTS in the comment section down below. Love you loads. Subscribe and thumb out the video while you're at it. It's like pulling teeth to get new subbies. Love ya. Bye. Oh, hey, Cyber Coco. How's it going, sweetie? So, yeah, Corey says I would wear that every day. Right? I say we'll go. I'm into this. Live yours way. Live yours way is giving me flower of story. Maybe he's the one who tried to make number 5 for his girlfriend as well, and then number 9, flower of story, came out. T-Pal is another great segment. Thank you, T-Pal. It is cute though. I'm telling him, JMJ, I would still we'll go. I would sit on that. I mean, what? It got a little too close to the fireplace and melted, says Lux with Brit. It's the thought that counts. I thought it was really cute. I bet it took him a few months to make it, says MJMJ. I would marry this man immediately. What a hero, says Melissa. I mean, he's adorable. I agree with you. Adorable. I would call it the Harley Davidson Birkin. Yes, T-Pal, you remember, flower of story. You know your references. I drop an Easter egg, T-Pal jumps on it immediately and knows what we was talking about. Is it live your sway? Oh, Dee. You might be right. But it still wouldn't be right, though, right? I mean, grammatically, live your sway? You could. You could, yeah. It could be live your... You could be right. Live your sway. I still wouldn't say it that way, but you could. Yeah, live your sway. Why not? I mean, why though? Selena's like, I don't want to get it. What do you don't want to get, Selena? What is it that you don't want? Gloria says, yes, flower of story vibes. Same, Gloria, same, says Pao. So we can do this. I mean, we need to slay a dragon or a crocodile or whatever, get the skin it, dry it, prepare it, do whatever needs to be done, and then get the patterns, cut out the pieces, perforate everything, fill every hole, and then it's all sewn together, and then you got the bag. Oh, don't forget the glazing. Don't forget the glazing, and don't forget to attach the hardware. Selena says, I'm glad I woke up to your live, but this bag has lost me. The bag has lost you. You lost the bag. You're losing sleep. Selena, we're at a loss. We gotta, I don't know, tighten something. The loss, honey, the loss. Oh, Louis says, I have some skin, hun. Oh boy, here we go. Buffalo Bill in the house. It puts the lotion in the basket. He might be able to help with that, says Zane. Who, Louis? Yeah. Louis can... Wait, who is he, Zane? Caleb? Selena's like, I did lose a bag. Oh, there you go. We'll go. Or else it gets the hose. Yes. Oh, the bag maker, says Zane. It gets the hose again. Oh, the bag maker. Now that's what we call him now? The bag maker? I prefer calling him the bag shaker. If you know, you know. Given that Samantha's coming back, oh my gosh, almost fell off the Karen chair yet again. Given that Samantha's coming back to Sex and the City, might as well. Might as well. He needs to do the next one shirtless, LOL. Yes, I agree. Maybe on TikTok they wouldn't let him do that, although TikTok is kind of creepy in what they allow and what they don't allow. Like, people get away with weird stuff there, but then people also get like canceled for like nothing. So no. I don't know. Zane says Shirley, it's a labor of love, says Julie. MJ says, with the apron on, please. Ice Storm, of course Samantha's coming back in the last episode. Spoiler alert. Of season 2. Just one phone call. Very little. Just a cameo. But, hey. Beggars can't be choosers. I'll take anything with Samantha in it. Wait a minute. That came out really wrong. I'll take anything with Samantha in it. Whatever. I know, Cyber Coco, we're like all just waiting for the last episode. Like, we're literally watching, and just like that, season 2 to get to the last episode. So basically, child labor is better than this guy's romantic attempts. Sounds wrong on all levels. Well, Selena, you don't like his baglet. He did it himself and you didn't like it. So what's it gonna be? Glamorous with Kim Cattrall is amazing, says Paige. Oh, really? Because some people are kind of saying they're not locking it that much. I haven't seen it yet, though. Melissa says, I was watching the first episode tonight, but now I'm watching Wolf Cop 2. Wait, Melissa, you gotta watch Wolf Cop 1 first. You need the build-up to Wolf Cop 2. You gotta earn it. You gotta earn all of it. Just my humble opinion. Because it's all about the anticipation. It's a great movie. Both parts. Part 1 and Part 2. I loved both parts. I wonder if they're shooting Part 3. And I wonder on what platform they're going to stream that movie. So there's that. Zane is like, I Googled that. That was breathtaking, literally. Don't think I could breathe in front of that. Zane, what did I tell ya? I'm not going to sit here blushing for no reason. If I tell ya that werewolf is big, I mean it. And I was like, oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. Majestic sight. Majestic. And it's also, besides that, it's a great movie. So I just recommend both part 1 and part 2. It's a great pop cultural horror movie done with a lot of love and a lot of everything. But on a budget. You know, they delivered it with passion and love. So there you go. So there you go. Yes, the innuendo. I know, darling. I know. You are our innocent girl. After. Oh, please. Who's innocent here? Right? Cast the first stone. Oh, crickets? Oh, I see. Okay. That was so romantic of him. That's a keeper. I agree with you. So anyway, y'all, wait, is there something I need to see? No? I wanted to say thank you to the mods. Bubbles, hit it.
A special thanks to the mods in the fashion bunker. Thanks to Debbie, Jesus, Creation, Nicole, Kevs, and Gloria. Bubbles loves you.
Love low budget Halloween movies, generally the best. Hello, Halloween is the best. Period. LOL. Yeah, totes. Thank you to the mods. And we'll go.
Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, would go, would go, would go, would go, would go. Would go, 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 would go.
We'll go. Don't forget, Totally Jacob tomorrow, live stream. And just like that, season 2, episode 1 and episode 2 review, including spoilers. It's going to be a chill, snacky live stream on my other channel, Totally Jacob. Subscribe so that we can chat.
Living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret, living ferret.
There's a little screenshot moment. So, now we're dying, ferret.
Dying ferret, dying ferret, dying ferret, dying ferret, dying ferret.
Burpee Yoda. Hit it, cha. Oh, look at that. Julie Scott just gave baby Yoda.
Roulier Scott donated $10. I thought if I make enough donation, maybe someday you will make me a vegan Birkin. Lol.
Lol. I love how Bubble says lol. It's like not even, no emotion. It's not like LOL. You know, it's like lol. So hopefully one day you're going to make a vegan Birkin. Lol. Thank you so much, Julie. Lol. Baby Yoda, are we going to do ta-ta-ta-ta? Ta-ta-ta-ta? Yeah, gee, ta-ta-ta-ta? Wee! Where is it? Where's your nugget? Where's your bag? You want your bag while we sing to... Okay. What's a little bag? Such a diva. Such a diva. He's off of his phase of wanting the macarons. Now he's all about the Louis. He saw Pharrell's show and we had a huge conversation about it. He wants those bags. And I told him, no, baby Yoda, you're not going to, no, I'm not going to support this. He's like, what do you know? You're old. I'm like, what do you mean? You come from a species that's billions of years old. You don't even know how old you are. That's how old you are. Just because you can't talk doesn't mean you're not older than me. No, he's treating me like a grandpa. And he's like, I don't know diddly squat. So he wants the Pharrell bags. I'm like, no, you got the bag you got. You got Tallulah. And he's like, okay, so are you ta-ta-ta-ta?
Ta-da!
You like a little baglet? You like it? Yes. You want to do a little queen moment? You want to wave to everybody? Okay. Look at him. Look at him. Look at this queen. I can't. Baby Yoda, this is it. This is what you get. Baby Yoda, he thinks he's the queen. And are you gonna Cha, you gonna sing cha? You wanna be a queen while AI Jesus sings cha? All right. Hit it.
Ciao, 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 ciao.
This is like I can't.
Ciao, ciao, ciao.
Yeah, there you go. Your subjects. You have said hi to all your subjects. There you go. Okay, bye. He's gone. Did we get 300 likes? Because if we did, then we get also Nicole, Madame Ross to sing for us. But otherwise, no. We unlock that level. Oh, we're far away from that. Well, we don't deserve Madame Ross today because we did not reach 300 likes. We unlock that song only when we reach 300 likes. So we bow to Yoda, says Selena. Oh man, I had an edible with my champagne and this is going sideways. Melissa, I'm telling you, the fashion bunker takes you places, even without an edible. Next time you won't need it. You just gotta sit and watch this crazy shenanigans. Oh, can I show you something more vintage? Oh my God, Easter egg. For those of you who made it all the way till the end of the live stream, there's a special little feature this is vintage from the 60s. Now, I did not purchase this recently. I've had this in my collection 15 years now, more give or take a year. It is from South Korea. It's in plexiglass, made out of one piece of plexi, and it is in a rosé plexiglass. It's so gorgeous. You can't see it all because of the green screen, but look at this. These are sunnies made out of one piece of plexi. '60s mod. Oh, aren't they the pip? Do a screenshot moment. Hold on. We'll go. Wait, hold on. Shift more to the center. This thing goes here. Okay. There you go. So these little beauties are from the 60s. For whoever cares to see. So no, they're not branded. They're from some independent designer from the 60s. They're not Pierre Cardin, but they're beautifully made, but they have no logos on them. They even have an extra etched in dent for the nose right on the top here as well. Like, they're very well made. Julie says, I have a pair of Pierre Cardin sunglasses from the 80s. Lovely. Maybe one day I can show you my Pierre Cardin sunglasses archive. They span from the 60s all the way to the 2000s. Many, many, many sunglasses. Even ones that were showcased in James Bond movies from the 80s, from the ski resort. Yes, I have those. Did I ever tell you the story? So I used to have this entire archive online, like a website where I would write about sunglasses. I had a blog. This was way before YouTube and anything. And Supreme, New York. Supreme. This is way before the Louis Vuitton collaboration was even in the picture. Supreme New York contacts me because of the website. They've seen my post on the James Bond Pierre Cardin sunglasses. And they ask me to purchase them. And I'm like, and I'm very specific about, and I'm like, always very clear on my Instagram, on my YouTube. I don't sell these things. I collect them. I'm not a reseller. I am a collector. So obviously in my blog, it also very clearly stated, you know, this is my private collection. This is for archival purposes. Things are not for sale. They would not budge. They were like, we want to buy them. I'm like, they're not for sale. Then I said, you can borrow them if you're going to have an exhibition in Supreme, New York, or something like that. We can negotiate, but you ain't keeping them. The audacity of the implications of like, because at one point I started thinking, they're so sketchy in the way they communicate with me. They would totally be capable of paying the fee to rent them and then never send them back. You know what I mean? And then I was like, you know what? No, I'm not even going to fucking borrow them. Oops, I meant, what? Queen. So, I was like, ain't gonna happen. So I said no. No. So anyway, the Pierre Cardin skiing James Bond ski glasses are still safe in my archives. I didn't trust Supreme. Sorry, Supreme. You're just too hype beast for me. Oh, so Gwen did a Boy Watcher and Eskimo sunglasses. So Eskimo sunglasses, I have quite a few. Inuit sunglasses. The first famous ones are from Courrèges, André Courrèges from the late 60s. And actually, Salvador Dali also wore them. And Audrey Hepburn. So I have the 60s version. And then I have the re-edition that Courrèges made for Colette in Paris. They're also gorgeous, still in the original packaging. And then I have the re-edition that Courrèges made for their own boutique in Paris in the early 10s. Or was it 2015? Can't remember. Maybe it was around 2014, 2015. I have that edition as well of the Eskimos. And then there is this one brand that was actually working with the Inuit population. Was it in Greenland? Where was it? So anyway, all of the proceeds of the sales of this particular sunglasses that they made was going to go to benefit the Inuit population of one particular area. And I got those glasses as well. I forgot the name. And of course they have the little slits because, you know, technically Eskimos would everything is white. Sun reflects off of the snow and you get that, you can get chicken blindness, it's called, if you're looking too much into just white and there's no contrast or contours anywhere. So, but to protect themselves from the light that's everywhere, because light bounces off of snow, so you kind of lose perspective of what's in front of you. If there's something in front of you or not, you become blind, kind of. So they, out of bones, you know, they would take bones and shape them in that kind of rounded shape and with a slit through them, and then tie them with leather to the back of the head. Those would be the original kind of Eskimo or Inuit glasses, because they would kind of limit the amount of reflection of the light of the sun that would bounce off of everything and kind of come into your eyes. So by doing that, they limit everything. So you have that just one slit open that helps you see in the glaring white reflection of the sun during the daytime. And also, you know, for them, it's like daytime 6 months a year. Snow blind. I think it's called chicken blindness, isn't it, Debbie? So they developed those glasses, and this is why André Courrèges, then in the 60s with his space age style, reinvented that slit and added it to a classic Wayfarer model. It's like a Wayfarer model, but all in white. And then instead of having lenses in the glasses, they just had a slit. Oh yeah, Eskimo was a practical adaptation. Well, Eskimos or the Inuit population made them out of need. to help them while they're hunting, while they're living their day, you know, just in the white snow and in the ice. It was a very, very, or it still is to this day, a very practical way to protect your eyes. Snow blindness. You've only heard it as snow blindness? Okay. All right then. Snow blindness it is. Eskimo kisses. The nose kisses. Adorable. Eskimo kisses are super cute. So anyway, there you go. A little bit of fashion history for you. Thank you so much for watching and for tuning in. I hope you had some fun today. I hope you've had a little trajectory of a journey together here on the tubes with me in the Fashion Bunker. And I hope to see you all tomorrow on Totally Jacob, when we have ourselves a little live stream party reviewing the first 2 episodes of season 2 of And Just Like That, with none other than Carrie Bradshaw, Miranda Hobbs, Charlotte York, and the other new chicks, and Dreaming of Samantha Jones. There you go. Love you loads, guys. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye.